18th and an update on the progress on the Ferguson. The first little project is this alternator, and currently I'm waiting for a segmented belt. I could not find one that's 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to try a segmented belt that's 5/8 of an inch. I need to have a smaller belt here so that I can get this alternator up a little higher so the belt doesn't ride so close to this cutout here. So that should be here later on in the week when it warms up a little bit. I got a better idea of what. That's my indicator light. I just need to pull that out. I'll probably do that today. Pull that out, see what it looks like, and either get a bulb for it or replace it with an LED unit. And we have the seat job, which I talked about in another video, but I have a seat here that's full of other stuff. There's the seat, and it's got a hinge mechanism on it. And then I have another seat that I got both these on eBay. I have another seat down there, which I believe has the correct seat spring on it, but the wrong pan. So between all of this stuff, this is an aftermarket kit that they sold back in the day that some farmer put on here, and they did some modifications to it as well, but it's just way too close there, and there's not much adjustment backwards. There's one more notch going backwards. I needed to get much further back, and I really don't like all this garbage on here. I just want the spring. Then putting on a new, well, reproduction lifting box assembly, and get rid of this little top link that somebody put on there. Everything else on the hitch appears to be fine. We'll find that out when I get a little further along. Most of this stuff looks okay. Once I start trying it out in the field, I'll know a little better. Then the steering wheel. The steering wheel's a bit jacked up. I could live with this, but I don't want to. So there's a new steering wheel and a new nut while I'm at it. This is the resistor and wiring kit from the alternator kit. Got to put that on. Spark plugs. These were a closeout. Packard Bell, I think. These are ultra high performance, but it says it right on it. Yep, you know, it just says high performance silicone, 7mm. But these were closeout. I think they're like 50-60 bucks for non-closeout ones, and I found these on eBay for incredibly cheap. So we'll see if they even work. OEM plugs, flamethrower coil, electronic ignition, new cap, just some little felt washers for the battery. Old school quick disconnect with the big Frankenstein blade switch, I guess that's called, for the negative post on the battery. This is the original equipment switch. Yeah, it's hard to see. I'll show it when I do the video on it. But it has these big fat Bakelite knobs for the key. Really cool. So that all kind of goes with the alternator. And then I'll be doing the headlight wiring as well at the same time, or close to it. Back here, got the Ferguson emblems for both sides. It's the headlights. Everything I've seen, the headlights were an option, and the dealer would put them on or the farmer would put them on, and apparently they didn't have much of a guideline for it. But some of the best stuff I've seen has them right about here, so that the headlight is roughly flush with the front here. So that's how I'm going to put it, about that far down. I'll just make some measurements and I'll do it the same on both sides. These are the washers for the back of those headlights, and the tail light. This goes, and there's the mounting thing for it, but these are the brackets. These go, they have a little recess there. I'm gonna have to do some body work on these, but these go on like that, and then the light itself mounts to right here. I really gotta get this tin in better shape. This is the adapter that goes on top of that for the tail light. The tail light mounts through the hole there. That's the tail light. This one goes on this side. So when you're on the highway at night driving home from the field, you have the red light would be in the road. This tire would be on the gravel on the side of the road. This tire would generally be on the road a little bit, especially around here. We have real narrow shoulders. So this always went on the left when you're looking at it from the back. They make a version with a clear light in the bottom for illuminating a license plate. I don't know about anywhere in the United States, but in Europe or in England, they require plates on them. And my oil filter and the gasket for it, that pig's been leaking since I got it. I got to get that done too. And, well, as far as maintenance go, I'll grease the whole thing and show you where all the grease points are. Find all the zerks. I have the owner's manual, so I'll just look it up. And you know, this one doesn't have anywhere near as much as my farm haul. There's one right there. Looks like one right there. There isn't too many of them. So I'll get her greased up, change the transmission / hydraulic fluid, change the engine oil, get the new battery in there. The battery's been on the charger off and on all winter. So if I put it on there, it takes about 2 minutes to wreck it for my charging genie. This thing's a real great Noco Genius. But you pop that on, it'll identify whether it's 6 or 12 volts, and it does battery repair by pulsing the charge into it. It's pretty neat. But the battery's good. It's got a good charge already. So, and I don't know if I need to do any work on the carb or not. I believe the carb is fine. Oh, and one last thing. Well, yeah, and I got to get rid of this awesome 50s blue toolbox. And I gotta change the oil in the air filter and generally clean that out. I'm sure it's pretty filthy in there. So I believe that's it. Oh no, I have to adjust the brakes and hopefully not replace them, but I know they need adjustment. It's pulling to one side. And is it? I think the adjustment's on the front. So hopefully that's not too much of an ordeal, but I mean, it's not too much work. As long as I don't run into as many problems as I did with this alternator. But, oh, and then that added, I got to get this flushed. I would like to flush it where it sits, so maybe I can find something to hook up to these. Oh, this has the thermostat right inside the pipe. So I would have to take this pipe off, or this top hose, to flush it, but I'll have to see if I can find an adapter for that, and then flush this thing out, run the water out to the driveway out there. But that's about it. Flush the radiator. Yeah, that's about it. And hopefully that will get me good to go for a good amount of time. Then I can put it on a regular maintenance schedule for greasing and oil change, and not have to worry about what somebody else did. There's one more thing. This sediment pole was leaking like a sieve, so I'm gonna disconnect that and put some thread seal on it. And I did study up on it, and it is supposed to have a reserve. I don't think this is the original sediment bowl, because the original, I believe, had a round dial on it, a round knob, and this just has a wing nut kind of a thing. Let's see if I can add a little light there. Well, it says Ohio on it. I don't think there's an Ohio in Japan, so maybe this is original. Maybe this is this little valve. Maybe this little valve is just replaced. But anyway, I gotta get this to stop leaking. That's not good. And if it is original, I am certainly keeping it, because the Chinese ones are just horrible. So, and that'll be going. No need for it with a alternator, a voltage regulator. And unfortunately, it's new, so it'll go on the shelf and wait for another tractor that needs it. That's about it for this overview. Due to the storm, I'm gonna have to be doing some other stuff today.